The political landscape is shifting fast, from courtroom battles over financial records to record-breaking military recruitment, foreign policy shakeups, and unexpected economic ripples. There's a lot to unpack. Stay tuned as we break down the latest developments shaping America and the world. A federal judge has just blocked Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, also known as DOGE, from accessing sensitive U.S. Treasury records. This decision comes after 19 Democratic attorneys general sued the Trump administration, arguing that DOGE's access to personal financial data violated federal law. Judge Paul A. Engelmeyer issued a preliminary injunction, stating that anyone who accessed the Treasury's payment system since January 20th must destroy any copies of the data. A hearing is set for February 14th. Now, why does this matter? The Treasury's payment system processes trillions of dollars in federal transactions, including Social Security and veterans' benefits. Critics argue that granting DOGE access could lead to potential misuse of sensitive financial information. The Trump administration has yet to comment, but this ruling sets the stage for a high-stakes legal showdown. Meanwhile, in the military world, the U.S. Army is reporting record-breaking recruitment numbers. December 2024 marked the Army's most successful December in 15 years, with nearly 350 new soldiers enlisting daily. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth credits the surge to President Trump's leadership, saying, "America's youth want to serve under bold and strong leadership." But military officials point out that recruitment numbers had already been on the rise throughout the past year. With enlistment on track to meet 2025 goals, the Army is expanding training capacity, adding 10 new units in April to accommodate an additional 9,600 recruits annually. Programs like the Future Soldier Prep Course have helped lower-performing recruits meet enlistment standards, and the Pentagon is keeping a close eye on these trends. In international news, dozens of countries are pushing back against President Trump's latest move, sanctions, against the International Criminal Court. Nearly 80 nations, including France, Germany, and Britain, reaffirmed their support for the ICC, calling it a vital pillar of the international justice system. Trump's order targets ICC officials investigating U.S. citizens and allies, particularly in cases involving Israel. While critics like German Chancellor Olaf Scholz say the sanctions jeopardize international justice, Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban supports Trump's decision, calling it the Trump tornado, shaking up global politics. These sanctions could freeze ICC assets and impose travel bans on court officials. The ICC, which has issued arrest warrants for figures like Vladimir Putin and Benjamin Netanyahu, has vowed to continue its work despite U.S. pressure. Back on the home front, Trump's foreign aid freeze is creating economic uncertainty. Over 500,000 metric tons of U.S. food aid are now stalled, with $340 million in government purchases of rice, wheat, and soybeans on hold. This sudden halt has left American farmers in limbo, as contracts planned months in advance are now uncertain. A National Grain Association spokesperson warned that delays like this can ripple through rural economies. With USAID purchasing around $2 billion in food from U.S. farmers annually, these disruptions could have lasting consequences. Meanwhile, just north of the border, Trump's tariff threats have triggered a wave of national pride in Canada. According to two new polls, the percentage of Canadians who say they're very proud or proud to be Canadian has jumped from 58% to 67%. The biggest shift? Quebec, where national pride surged from 45% to 58%. It seems Trump's economic policies are having unintended effects, fueling a sense of unity among Canadians. South of the border, Mexico is experiencing a surge in deportations since Trump took office. President Claudia Sheinbaum reports that nearly 11,000 migrants have been deported from the U.S. since January 20th, including about 2,500 non-Mexicans. In response, Mexico has reached a deal with the Trump administration. In exchange for pausing tariffs on Mexican goods, Sheinbaum has deployed National Guard police to the northern border to reduce migrant crossings. This agreement signals a more cooperative approach between the two countries as Trump enforces stricter immigration policies. And finally, in the Middle East, a fragile ceasefire between Israel and Hamas is holding for now. Hamas has handed over 3 Israeli hostages, whose frail condition shocked Israelis. Meanwhile, Israel has agreed to release 183 Palestinian prisoners as part of the exchange. This is just the first phase of a 6-week deal, in which Hamas is expected to release 33 hostages in total in return for hundreds of Palestinian prisoners. While both sides have upheld their commitments so far, tensions remain high, and the ceasefire could collapse at any moment. That's all for today's update. From legal battles to military surges, global diplomacy, and economic shifts, the world is moving fast. Keep an eye on these stories because they're shaping the future. If you found this breakdown useful, don't forget to like, follow, and stay tuned for more. Thanks for listening, and see you next time.